One day, as I sat on a train journeying through the countryside, a gust of wind suddenly swept through the open windows. It tugged at my hat, threatening to whisk it away into the rushing air outside. Just as it teetered on the edge of escape, a small hand darted out and caught it, saving it from its airborne fate. Please subscribe me for hearing my story. I turned to see a young girl, her eyes sparkling with a mix of mischief and kindness. She handed me my hat with a mischievous smile, and we struck up a conversation. We talked about our shared love for adventure, books, and the thrill of the unknown. Her spirit was infectious, and as we laughed together, it felt as if we had known each other for years. As the train journey came to an end, we bid each other farewell, never exchanging names or contact information. However, her image lingered in my mind long after that encounter. Her captivating presence had left an indelible mark on my heart. Years passed, and the world found itself gripped by the chaos of World War I. I, too, was called to serve, compelled by a sense of duty to protect the values I held dear. Amidst the horrors of war, memories of that young girl resurfaced, offering a glimmer of hope and respite in the midst of darkness. In the midst of my military responsibilities, I found myself assigned to a vital mission that could potentially change the course of the war. I poured all my energy and expertise into the task at hand, hoping to make a difference in a world overshadowed by conflict. As I prepared for departure, my mind traveled back to that train journey all those years ago, and I wondered if fate would bring us together again. With a mixture of determination and trepidation, I set off on my mission, keeping a small flicker of hope alive in my heart. Months passed, and I finally returned from my mission, battle-weary and longing for a respite. As I made my way through a war-torn city, a sudden gust of wind swept through the streets. I watched as an umbrella, caught in its grasp, threatened to take flight. Without thinking, my instincts kicked in, and I reached out to grasp the umbrella, preventing it from being lost to the wind. And there, amidst the chaos, our eyes met once again. It was her, the young girl who had saved my hat so many years ago, now a woman of grace and strength. In that moment, time seemed to stand still. Recognition sparked in her eyes as she looked into mine. Without uttering a word, we both knew that our paths had converged once more, against all odds. We spent the days that followed in each other's company, cherishing the gift of this unexpected reunion. We marveled at the twists of fate that had brought us together yet again. Our connection deepened, and we discovered a love that transcended the ravages of war. But the shadows of the world outside threatened to tear us apart once more. The war waged on, demanding our attention and sacrifice. We knew that our time together was precious and fleeting. As we held each other for the last time, we vowed to carry the memories of our time together in our hearts. We understood that even though our love was destined to remain a beautiful but brief interlude in the grand theater of life, it was no less meaningful. Yet, in the flurry of joyous reunions, our paths crossed like ships in the night. Amidst the crowd and chaos, I lost sight of my beloved Emily. Desperation gripped my heart as I called out her name, but she slipped away, disappearing into the vast sea of faces. Our hearts recognized each other instantly, as if destiny had carved our paths to intersect once more. In the midst of turmoil, we found solace in each other's embrace, sharing stories of the past and dreaming of a future filled with love and hope. But alas, the tides of war were unrelenting, and duty called me to the front lines. With a heavy heart, I poured my expertise into designing and constructing planes that would aid in the battle. Each rivet I placed, and each blueprint I perfected carried a silent prayer for a world free from conflict, where I could hold Emily in my arms again. Time marched on, and I, a broken man, sought solace in my work as an engineer. The planes I built soared through the sky, but my heart remained tethered to the love I had lost. Emily's sketches and paintings adorned the walls of my lonely abode, constant reminders of a love that eluded me. Years stretched into eternity as I anxiously awaited her arrival, clutching her memory tightly. The day finally came when victory was declared, and the world rejoiced. With bated breath, I stood on the airfield, straining my eyes for a glimpse of her, clutching her umbrella, a symbol of our enduring love. Years later, as the world healed from the scars of war, I often found myself revisiting the memories we had created. The wind tussling an umbrella reminded me of that young girl whose spirited nature had touched my soul. In the end, I cherished the time we had shared, finding Saul,